You might recall not too long ago, Marilyn Manson had a case where he went to New Hampshire and he spit on this camera person. But now it appears this person might come back and reopen it and look for more. It's from November 2nd, 2023, from Rolling Stone, who's absolutely out to get Marilyn Manson. They say nothing positive about him, nothing negative about any of his accusers, who's got a lot of negative stuff out there. So I'm not expecting much, but they've got some details and things from their point of view, so let's see what they say. Marilyn Manson Loogie lawsuit reinstated by court after dismissal. Okay then. Lawyer for plaintiff Susan Fountain pleaded with the court to revive the case, saying she was dealing with a serious medical issue when she missed trial date. I guess she'll have proof of that. We'll see what it is. She'll have to have hospital records, I'm assuming, or something. And whatever the problem is, it's going to have to be pretty bad. It wasn't even a full trial for hours and things like that. I think all she had to do was be there, be present, and watch the outcome. Something like that. So unless she was like immobilized or had some kind of terrible illness, I don't know, man. Sounds like a flappy fish market to me. And it begins. The photographer who claims Marilyn Manson caused her fear and anxiety when he spit and blew his nose on her at a 2019 concert in New Hampshire succeeded Thursday in bringing her civil lawsuit back against the disgraced rocker to life. Okay, come on, man. Like, it's not pleasant getting spit on. I'm sure it's happened to most of us here and there for some reason, whatever it was, an accident in most cases. But it's cringy, it feels bad, but it's not something I think you could like carry out and sue for and try to get money for and all this. Don't get me wrong, it's unpleasant, I get it, but what's it really worth in like a monetary sense? It's not worth like $1 million. It's not worth like $70,000. Maybe a couple of thousand or something I could see someone settling for. I mean, if it was you or me, like, what do you realistically expect as compensation for that? I expect something. Yes, a couple of grand I think would, put it behind me totally. But if I got like 50,000 for someone spitting on me, I'd feel pretty freaking lucky. I'd feel blessed. I'd feel like that was too good, to be honest. That puts my kids through college. That pays a huge chunk of a loan for a home. That pays for food for like a decade for my family, if not more. I mean, think about what that money could do and what it's worth and what the action is. A Los Angeles judge had dismissed the assault case in February after the lawyer for plaintiff Susan Fountain failed to appear in court on the date the trial was set to begin. And they say once again it was a medical issue with no details. Not at this moment. In her ruling Thursday, Judge Ann Huang said Klingo caught her mistake before the 6-month deadline to appeal the dismissal. The judge further noted the lawyer had since reduced her caseload and has prepared for the management of her cases until she fully recovers. And they say Fountain sued Manson for intentional infliction of emotional distress at first and battery. Look, I agree he was wrong. I agree it feels terrible. I agree she deserves some kind of a small compensation. But I don't agree that it was this intentional thing to cause her, a person who doesn't know, emotional distress and battery. I'm not sure exactly what battery is as far as the definition, but I thought it was like a physical thing. Throwing a punch, swiping a hammer at someone, not spit, which could arguably carry some kind of sickness or something. But if you get my drift, it's not a violent assault. And again, how much emotion are we talking about here? All right, let's not downplay it. You get spit on, it's degrading, it's not pleasant, but how many years of your life are you going to have the stress over that? Lose sleep, not be able to function at work? How much is it going to affect you? It'll be a bad memory. It's a shitty thing, but let's not blow it totally out of proportion. They say he moved towards where she was standing from the stage. Obviously, he's moving around, that at some point he's going to get to where she was. Did he maybe spit on camera people on purpose? Yes, because they have the camera, but not specifically because it was her. It could have been anyone with a camera. They go through what happened again in some detail. We get it. He spit at her and the camera. They call it a second bodily fluid attack. I don't know. Just the word attack doesn't sit quite right. She said she was shocked and humiliated, and she rushed to the bathroom to wash her arms and legs. She then went through medical testing to make sure she didn't contract the disease. So it went on her arms and legs, she said. I don't see where it says, like, in any kind of orifice to contract something. If it was just her arms and legs, not even her face, well, I don't know how you could get a disease from that. Maybe I missed where it said more detail. Once again, emotional distress, fear, and anxiety. I'd say pay for her medical bills. Absolutely. That's a given. Fine. A little compensation. Okay. My ballpark is like $5,000 or something like that. $4,000, under 10, to put it to bed. Still, not even that, but okay. And they said he got 20 hours of community service and a $1,400 fine, which seems reasonable also. I can't completely defend what he did. I wouldn't do it. You probably shouldn't do it. But I must mention there was a waiver given to people filming and professionals that there might be things like that happening anyway. So there was that. Anyway, that's it. Actually, a pretty middle of the road article from Rolling Stone. I thought it'd be worse. They presented apparently the facts, but they did mention a lot of those words and highlight them and repeat them. Emotional distress, attack, assault, that kind of thing, but not their worst. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. Following Manson when I can. Whenever something about Depp and Heard comes up that's relevant. Little Dan Wooten. And if you don't subscribe, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.